those puzzle games when we were children that was find what's wrong in the picture? And you would have two pictures and you would have to look at one and see what were all the mistakes in the one picture and mark them out. I loved those. I loved looking for faults. But I realized something the other day, and this is by way of confession. I often do that in life. I look for the fault first instead of what's right. And it could be quite critical. Well, I'm Karen from the House of Hope, and I want to share something with you, a truth that I've recently learned and asked the Lord to help me with, and maybe this can help you as well. I'll give you an example. The other day, I asked my son Micah to please tidy his room. He's 12 years old. That was no small task. And he did and did. And then when he called me and I walked in there, all that I saw were the two things he hadn't done. And I totally overlooked maybe the 20 other things that he had picked up. He cleaned up his whole room, but I just noticed the two things that he got wrong. And I realized in my heart, the Lord spoke to me that this is often how we can approach life, how I can, is that I look for the negative and I overlook the positive. When someone might say something to you and you can do 10 things right, but they only pinpoint the one thing that you do wrong. It hurts. When you give the best effort and they just see the one way that you failed. I realize I do that to myself as well. I can be leading worship, do 6 songs, make one mistake at one point in one song, and all I remember is that one mistake on that one chord, and I don't even thank God for the 6 other songs that I could play correctly. I look for the negative and not the positive. Is this something that you do? Philippians 4 verse 8 says, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, if there's anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. God's not telling us overlook that which is wrong, but he's saying to us, focus on what is true. Focus on what's lovely and praiseworthy. So for us as parents, instead of pointing out what your child did wrong, focus first on what they did right. Before criticizing a spouse, thank them and praise them for the things that they do that are great and amazing. It's the same for us at work, or even at church, the way that we minister. This is such an important truth. Because look, one thing doesn't mean a failure, it just means there's one area we've got to grow in. And we're told to build one another up in love. So build up today. Focus on the positive, help with correction, but focus on the positive first.